Hello, touch the light. I hope you're doing well. We are fortunate to be able to study Jewel Ornament of Revelation on this auspicious month of Sabatawa. And we'll continue where we stop. We are now trying to understand the Wisdom Awareness, chapter 17. And before we start, we shall recite the refuge prayers and then followed by generations of Bodhicitta. Sangye Chedan Soge Jonam La Jangjo Bado Dani Gyapson Je Dagi Jin Soge Sonam Ge Dola Benje Sangye Trubor Show Sangye Chedan Soge Jonam La Jangjo Bado Dani Gyapson Je Dagi Jin Soge Sonam Ge Dola Benje Sangye Trubor Show Sangye Chedan Soge Jonam La Jangjo Bado Dani Gyapson Je Dagi Jin Soge Sonam Ge Dola Benje Sangye Trubor Show Sangye Chedan Soge Jonam La Jangjo Bado Dani Gyapson Je Dagi Jin Soge Sonam Ge Dola Benje Sangye Trubor Show Simjen Tamje Dewa Tam Dewe Gyu Tam Tempo Ge Je Dongan Dan Dongan Ge Gyu Tam Dewa Ge Je Dongan Bebe Dewa Tam Ba Tam Dewa Ge Je Ge Cha Dan Yi Tam Dewe Ta Yum Je Bo La Ne Ba Ge Je Simjen Tamje Dewa Tam Dewe Gyu Tam Tempo Ge Je Dongan Dongan Ge Gyu Tam Dewa Ge Dongan Bebe Dewa Tam Ba Tam Dewa Ge Je Ge Cha Dan Yi Tam Dewe Ta Yum Je Bo La Ne Ba Ge Je Simjen Tamje Dewa Tam Dewe Gyu Tam Tempo Ge Je Dongan Ge Gyu Tam Dewa Ge Je Dongan Bebe Dewa Tam Ba Tam Dewa Ge Je Ge Cha Dan Yi Tam Dewe Ta Yum Je Bo La Ne Ba Ge Je Ba Dem Sa Ve La Ma Rin Bo Je Ta Ge Je Ru Pe Men De Jo La Ka Din Chen Bo Ko Ta Ja Song De Ku Song Do Ge Ngo Do Za Do So So personal parameter, the sixth uh, perfections, and among these six, we are now on concentrating on the sixth, that is the wisdom awareness, which is very important chapter. In order to actually attain the perfect and complete Buddhahood or enlightenment, we must realize this wisdom awareness. Otherwise, we'll not be able to accomplish our goal to benefit sentient beings and to attain perfect and complete enlightenment. So therefore, this chapter is considered as one of the very most important chapter to understand. The idea of wisdom awareness or the Prajna Paramita to have this complete and full realizations of wisdom awareness is very important. Because of that reason, we are trying to understand it is in detail, having kind of idea of this wisdom awareness as well as implementing that understanding into practice, and thereby we'll able to realize the result, and that is the perfect and complete enlightenment. So therefore, it is very important. So among the different topics that Gampopa share here in order to explain this wisdom awareness, we're now at the sixth topic, that is to what is to be practiced. Obviously, we have learned, we have some idea why things are emptiness, why things are empty by nature. And we have also taught different reasonings why things are called emptiness, why things do not hold kind of permanent identity, kind of solid concrete identity. Things are made up of so many substances. Things do occur and appear because of different causes and conditions. And one of the best example is the things do originate because of dependent originations or dual links. So this really indicates that whatever things that appear, whatever phenomena that we associate with, they do not hold a kind of permanent, solid identity. They do not have some kind of um, permanent entity that exists. Everything appears because of so many causes and conditions. Since everything appears because of so many causes and conditions, that indicate us that they do not really hold their own nature. Since they do not have their own nature or solid concrete existence, and therefore everything is possible, everything is transformable, everything is the movement can take place and everything can appear and disappear. So therefore, that is why everything is possible. If things do really have their own kind of solid identity or existent identity or entity, then we cannot change things. It's very solid, it's permanent, it's solid, so you can't change them. And if it's that so, then we cannot have so many transformations. We cannot have so many changes in our life because it's already fixed there. It's already solid. It's already concrete. But luckily, it's not that. Things do not hold its own kind of permanent identity, solid identity. Therefore, everything is possible, everything is flexible, everything can occur because of cause and conditions, everything can change, and that's quite wonderful. And by knowing this, we should feel happy that the suffering that we now experience can also transform, can change, because that suffering, the suffering that we are now actually experiencing, do not hold its own kind of permanent identity. It occurs to us because of different cause and conditions. When the cause and condition ceases, the suffering ceases as well. So that's why we should consider as fortunate, because things do not hold its own solid identity. Everything appears because of cause and conditions, and therefore liberation from suffering is possible, enlightenment is possible, everything is possible. The very basic simile for this is where I usually give to my talk is water. Water do not hold its own shape and color as a permanent identity. Because of that, we can transform water into different shapes and different colors by mixing colors. In water, if you mix water with red color, water turns into red. If you mix water with the blue color, it will turn into blue. Likewise, if you pour water into a round glass, the water shape of that container will appear to be round. And if you put more water into a triangle glass or container, then obviously it will turn accordingly. So therefore, just like water does not hold its own permanent kind of characteristic or identity, it is transformable. Likewise, every phenomena, whatever appearances that appear in front of us, form, sound, smell, taste, texture, and so forth, they do not hold their own kind of permanent identity. So therefore, they are movable, they are transformable, they are changeable, and that is why it is very fortunate that things can change. So therefore, this emptiness idea of non-existence or permanent existence nature is very, very beneficial in our day-to-day life, to tackle with our emotions sometimes. If things are not going well with you because of different cause and condition, obviously, then you do not disappoint, because you know that things can change. Things do not hold as its own permanent solid identity. Things are changeable, transformable. So therefore, then you will have some hope. Otherwise, if things do not go with you and that is permanent, that cannot be changed, then that's very suffering. That's very unfortunate. But it's not that like that. So therefore, It is very encouraging for us to, if you have some kind of understanding of wisdom awareness, if you have some kind of realizations of wisdom awareness, then it's very beneficial how to deal with your emotions, how to tackle your emotions into your day-to-day life. So because the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the past have realized this wisdom awareness, therefore they are always, in a very uh, uh, what do you call neutral kind of feeling. That they are not overwhelmed by any kind of things that they appear. They are not disappointed if things goes wrong. They are not overwhelmed if things goes well either. So they're always in a neutral state of mind. And if someone who can remain in a neutral kind of state of mind, you will be always be happy, because that kind of person is not overwhelmed by either good or bad experiences. They're always neutral, they're always stable, they're always happy. So this is how and what what we should be tracking to, wishing to, and hoping to realize this kind of stability in our mind. Now, since we do not have that kind of stability and that kind of realization, we are always overwhelmed, we're always overpowered by different causal conditions, different experiences, different forms, with different shapes, different colors, different tastes, different textures, different smells. So we're always overwhelmed, and we could not control our mind. We are kind of lost. We're overpowered and overtaken by negative afflictions and emotions most of the time, and that's very unfortunate. Now, what we're trying to do is trying to get some control over our own mind. If you have control over your mind, then you're overwhelmed. You're not overtaken by any kind of experiences, negative afflictions and emotions. You know that uh, how to tackle with this kind of experiences, and you will be able to you'll be the masters of your own mind. So therefore, different kind of thoughts, even they arises in your mind, you're not overtaken by these thoughts. If anger takes place in you, for example, you're not overtaken by and over controlled by anger. You know, you realize it, and you can see the true nature of anger, and by then you can diminish that anger that very moment, or you can turn that anger into positiveness, or you can just look at the nature of that anger, and that anger will diminish right away, right there, right away. So that's very fortunate, that's very important, and that's very beneficial for our day-to-day life as well, and also to benefit sentient beings. Obviously, we need to associate, we need to encounter with different types of situations and different types of people. So in all these cases, if you are able to remain your mind in a stabilizing state of mind, you are not overpowered or overtaken by any kind of different thoughts, different um, uh, by different um, appearances of different people, by different speeches of different people, by different thoughts of different people. You're always stable. You can realize the nature of phenomena as impermanence nature, as emptiness nature. And because of that, you are not too attached, uh, or you are not too overwhelmed, or you're not too uh, hatred or envy. You don't have any envy or hatred towards things. You do not have any kind of attachment and grasping of different things, because you knew, you have already some kind of realizations of emptiness nature of phenomena. So this is very helpful actually. Okay, so now today we continue what is to be practiced. What is to be practiced? Obviously, after having some kind of theoretical understandings of wisdom awareness, and just having that kind of theoretical understanding of wisdom awareness is not enough. We may be so expert, so knowledgeable. We may have done master degree in Madhyamika or Prajnaparamita Sutra, but if you have not put them into practice, if you have not realized that emptiness with your own experiences, then that will not lead you to to the perfect and complete enlightenment. How much knowledge you have about of emptiness, if you do not have realized emptiness, then you're still overwhelmed, you're still overtaken by your negative affections and emotions. And that is just like being a very lay, ordinary human being. Again, even though how many years of study you have done in practice in the studies of the Prajnaparamita, but if you have not realized the wisdom awareness, if you have not realized the emptiness nature of phenomena, then you are still the same, still the mundane uh, individual who is trying to tackle with different afflictions and emotions. Okay, so obviously, after having some kind of theoretical understanding of emptiness, then we have to put them into practice. We have to really meditate and try to really experience the emptiness nature of phenomena. So therefore, one should understand, as explained before, about the nature of emptiness and then put them into practice. And there are four different stages of practicing the emptiness nature. Obviously, the preparation part, that is called preliminary practice. Then we have equipoise, the real meditation state of mind in order to realize the emptiness nature of phenomena. Then we have these post-meditation stages where we usually eat, sleep, do our daily activities. Within also at that time, we should not forget. We should be able to bring the same kind of attitude of well in the equipoise, bring that same attitude into the post-meditation state. Then you will be able to maintain that stability, maintain that wisdom, maintain the wisdom awareness. Otherwise, if you are so good in practicing during the meditation state, you have no kind of any kind of negative afflictions and emotions occurring at that stage. But when you are in the post meditation stage, then if you forget that wisdom awareness, you are not able to place your mind in a very stable condition, then there's a risk that the negative afflictions and emotion will overpower you. Then you will be again the same individual as you used to be, and then by that you may have formations of karma, and slowly, because of that formations of karma, you'll be able to experience the suffering as its result. So we should also have full awareness, full mindfulness during the post meditation state as well. And then the fourth stage is the science of the practice, how you can kind of examine where your practice are going on. This is something that we should kind of examine ourselves, calculate our practice, and trying to see where we are. So there are different stages here. The first one is the preliminary stage that we talk about in our last session. Obviously, preliminary practice is very, very important. Preliminary practice are actually more important than the actual practice, as it is said by different masters in the past, especially meditation instructors. Why they focus on preliminary practice is because you should be prepared, you should have good foundation. If you build a house on a very unstable foundation, that kind of house will not last long. So if you want to have a very strong house, which you want to wish to have long lasting, then you should build a very strong and good foundation, good quality of foundation. So likewise here again in meditation, also particularly in the wisdom awareness, you should have a very stable foundation here. That's why the preliminary practice are very, very important to focus. Now today we are going to understand the real actual practice, equipoise. Actual practice or the equipoise here should be understood as two stages here again. Shamatha stage and Vipassana stage. Shamatha, very popular. Everyone knows Shamatha meditation. It is the Sanskrit term used by both Buddhist and non-Buddhist school of thoughts. And even within the Buddhists, the Shavakas, Padikabhutas, and the Bodhisattvas, they all have the same terminology of Shamatha practice, Shamatha meditation. But their technique may be different, but they all use the same terminology. And here today, our shamatha here and vipassana, obviously, later on the very stable shamatha, one realizes vipassana. And what is vipassana? Vipassana is translated as insight or clear seeing. Clear seeing the true nature of your mind is vipassana, according to Mahamudra here. We are now Gampopa, obviously, as a practitioner of Mahamudra. So his presentation here of the equipoise practice is Mahamudra, not the shamatha of the hearer or Paticabhuta or Bodhisattvas, but the shamatha of Mahamudra, different techniques. Obviously, we have heard so many different techniques of shamatha meditation. Obviously, if we talk about from the lower vehicle, obviously there are 4 mindful practices. There are 37 bodhi factors, starting from the 4 mindful practices: mindful of body, mindful of feeling, mindful of mind, mindful of phenomena, and so forth. And this is also shamatha meditation. And also we have this breathing exercise, that is also shamatha meditation. And we also have different technique of shamatha meditation. Some shamatha meditation focuses on the external object like stick or stone, and just forgetting all other thoughts, but only remaining one thought, only remaining in one thought, focusing on stone or image of Buddha and so forth. This is also one way of practicing shamatha meditation. Likewise, breathing exercises, that is also another type of shamatha meditation. Then walking meditation, looking at the incense, focusing on incense, burning incense, then focusing on that remaining piece, that's also shamatha meditation. So there are different ways, different techniques of shamatha meditation. And vipassana, as I mentioned earlier, is the advanced stage. Within that very strong shamatha meditation, and some awareness, some kind of wisdom take place, and that is known as insight or vipassana. That vipassana also have different stages. Hearers, Pratika Buddha stage, Bodhisattva stage, Mahamudra stage of shamatha vipassana meditation as well. So maybe after remaining in bed, for example, if you talk about the lower vehicle, if you remain very peacefully into that state of mind, calm abiding state of mind, and then within that very strong shamatha meditation, if some one who is practicing that meditation is aware and have some kind of realizations of things as impermanence, that is clear seeing, that is vipassana. Likewise, in Mahayana vehicle also, within that very stable meditation state of mind, if someone can really see, really have some kind of awareness of things as emptiness, that is also vipassana meditation. And obviously, if you are able to see the true nature of your mind without any kind of analytical meditation, just experiencing directly Sometimes it is translated as the path of direct experiencing meditation or path of direct perception meditation. That is Mahamudra way of meditation, of insight or vipassana meditation. So there are different stages. So we are now focusing on the Mahamudra stage here. That's why in Mahamudra meditation, equipoise pose, whether it is shamatha or vipassana meditation, how one should remain in that stabilization of mind. This is how we are going to know today from this chapter. Okay, so then for all the method of equipoise, one should also train according to instructions of Mahamudra. One should set, so what is the Mahamudra instruction here about shamatha and vipassana meditation? One should set the mind free from effort. Obviously, in Hinayana vehicle, even we are in shamatha meditation, we are not free from our thoughts. We are still holding one thought, if not all, but still we are holding one thought. Like we are placing our mind on the stone or external object, stone or image of Buddha or any kind of object. Or if you talk about breathing exercise, shamatha meditation, there also we have one thought. We are counting the breath, inhaling, remaining, exhaling, and counting. There's also a thought. But in Mahamudra, we should let the mind rest freely without any kind of work, without any kind of activity. This is what Mahamudra style of shamatha meditation. One should set the mind free from all the effort without any conceptualizing whatsoever of the existence or non-existence, acceptance or rejections, just leaving your mind very free from all the extroversions. This is the way of Mahayana, Mahamudra, shamatha meditation or equipoise. Just letting your mind rest at its own nature. No, not involving any kind of reasoning here, whether things are impermanence or whether things are permanent, whether things are existence or whether things are non-existence, whether things are emptiness or whether things are not emptiness, not having any kind of examinations are taking place here. In meditation, there are two ways of meditating. One is analytical meditation, giving lots of reasons why things are impermanence, why things are emptiness, you are giving lots of reasoning. But here, no, just resting and directly experiencing, trying to directly experience the emptiness nature of your mind. So Mahamudra way of meditation is like, instead of inferring the emptiness of external phenomena by reasoning, what we are doing is the Mahamudra tradition shows us how to directly experience the emptiness as actuality, how to directly experience the emptiness nature of your own mind. That is more important. That is where we are focusing according to Mahamudra meditation. Just letting your mind rest at peace, not giving any activities to the mind, not breathing exercise, not looking at the image of Buddha, no idam visualizations of idam deities, just letting your mind rest as its own nature, just like this. This is the way of equipoise, Mahayana, Mahamudra equipoise. That is why Telugu says, do not ponder, think, or recognize. Do not meditate or examine. Leave the mind to itself, just like this. So in Mahamudra, even you say you are meditating, actually you are not meditating. No any kind of activities taking place. just remaining at the nature state of your mind. That's what Mahamudra Equipos is. Also concerning the way to rest our fatigued mind. So our this fatigued mind, our tiredness mind, because we have been thinking so much. We have had thousands of thoughts according to us every day, related to the past or related to the future. And because of that, we're not we are not being able to focus. We're not being able to enjoy the very present moment. Remember, sometimes when you are so worried about your job, about your planning, or when you are exhausted, when you are or disappointed, even though your body is at the restaurant having a cup of coffee, but you are not aware of that coffee, the taste of that coffee. You just drink, just like water, but your mind is not there. Your mind is disturbed, distracted by different worries, different thoughts, different experiences of the past. Obviously, most of the time, sad experiences, suffering experiences that is disturbing your present. So in Mahamudra, we're not focusing on any kind of conceptualizations here. Any kind of conceptual thoughts are taking place. So what you need to do is just give a rest to this fatigued mind. Listen, son, you are conceptualized. So the instructor says, son, you are conceptualized. That's why you're suffering. That's why you're disappointed. That is why you are exhausted. Now just rest. Forget everything and just rest within the nature of your mind. Here, this mind, the self is neither bound or liberated. The nature of your mind actually is non-bound. And since it's not bound, it should not be liberated. Therefore, Keho means kind of exciting. After having kind of realizations of your mind, you are excited, like Emaho, Keho. So therefore, Keho, rest your fatigue freely. Rest your fatigue mind freely. You have worked so hard. You have gone so many different situations. You have so many thoughts occurred. You try your best tackling with your negative afflictions, emotions. You try to end suffering with so many different kind of methods. And unfortunately, all those methods were external. You're trying to find happiness, and by focusing the cause of happiness externally, trying to find the cause of happiness externally, and that external phenomena are impermanence, non-existence. So therefore, you are already mistaken. So now what you need to do is, if you want to find happiness, you're trying to find the cause of happiness internally. And that's the right direction, right track. Now you're on the right track. Before, we are not on the right track. We're trying to solve so many sufferings, so many problems by trying to find the solution externally. And all those external solutions were beneficial, but very limited, short, temporarily beneficial. And they are not the permanent solution. They are not the permanent remedy or antidote. So therefore, that is why you suffer a lot. So now, Keho, rest the fatigued mind, and without scattering or contrivance, just rest in the nature state of your mind. Just rest your mind within with the nature, within your own nature. Just rest there. Do not ponder, do not contrive. Trying to see the unfabricated nature of your mind. And when you see this, when you realize this, you are liberated. This is how it is, the power of knowing your true nature of your mind. Nagarjuna also says, just as the mind of an elephant becomes calm after being trained, So by ceasing all coming and going, one is naturally relaxed. Realizing this, what dharma do I need? So this is the perfect dharma. If you're able to remain your mind within the natural state of your mind, what else dharma you need? All the dharmas are inclusive here. All those 84,000 different types, different teachings were meant to realize this true nature of your mind. So when you are now resting at that very nature of your true mind, then what else dharma do you need? You have the essence here. So this is what Nagarjuna said. Nagarjuna again said, do not conceptualize anywhere and do not think anything. Do not make artificial constructions. Rest naturally and loosely. The uncontrived is unborn natural treasury, the place where all the vicarious ones of the three times have gone. So these are the meditation instructions of Mahamudra, where you should not, conceptualize anything, not thinking any past or future, just remaining at present, not making any kind of artificial constructions, artificial mental, thoughts. Don't try to make things, as it says, there's nothing to be added, there's nothing to be subtracted. Just rest and let's see the true nature of mind as it is, without any kind of artificial constructions. Do not try to make it good, do not try to make it bad. Just remain and see its own nature. You do not need to make things good. You do not need to make things bad either. Just try to remain and see its nature as it is. That is what it should be. Shavari says, do not see any faults anywhere. Practice nothing whatsoever. Do not desire heat, sign, and so forth. So this is what it says during your meditation. When you're trying to look at the nature of your mind. Do not see any faults anywhere. If you're trying to see faults, you see more and more faults, obviously. So do not try to see faults. If you're trying to see faults, that is conceptual. Just try to rest in the natural self. Practice nothing whatsoever. Do not try to make anything extra. Just remain as its own nature. Do not desire heat. You should not have any kind of what you call hope here. If you're looking for some kind of result, if you have attachment towards result, then again you are bound. Remember, we should be free from both extortions and inhalations. We should be free from both spheres. We should be free from both attachment and anger in order to liberate from this bounded mind. So do not desire, do not wish for any kind of result like heat, tumo practice, or different signs, light radiating from your body and so forth. Do not have hope for those. Just rest your mind within the nature of your mind. Then result will appear automatically. You do not need to wish. You do not need to have kind of attachment towards result. It just comes as natural. Although there's another instruction here, important instruction. Although non-meditation has indeed been taught during the shamatha meditation, Mahamudra shamatha meditation, you do not need to do anything. Just focus and remain in your nature state of mind. Having said that, that does not mean that you have to be lazy. You have to fall in lazy and you do not do anything. That does not mean here. That's why Shawari also says, do not fall under the power of laziness and indifference. Continually practice mindfulness. Even though it is non-activity, meditation, just focusing the nature of your mind, that does not mean that you should not do anything. You should be lazy and sleep. That doesn't mean. Just continue that mindfulness. Even though there's no kind of activity, no meditation at all, but then we should not forget the mindfulness of that awareness, that wisdom awareness, that emptiness nature of our mind. We should continue to have that, and then we can bring that experience into our post-meditation state, post-meditation level. Accomplishing the meaning of meditation says, at the time of meditation, don't meditate on anything whatsoever. What is called meditation is only a designation. Actually, in Mahamudra practice, even though we are sitting in a quiet pose, trying to look at the nature of our mind, it seems like we are meditating. Actually, we are not meditating. We're just remaining at ease, at peace, mind at ease, focusing on the true nature of our mind, just as it is, not adding, not subtracting, so nothing. You're not doing anything there. That is what it means here. So meditation is just a designation. Sarha also says, if there is attachment anywhere, release it. If there's attachment anywhere, even in the focusing of your meditation, even when you're meditation sitting there, if you have attachment towards the result, then you are again conceptualized. And when you're conceptualized, you're bounded. So we should be free from this boundary. So release it. Where there is realization, everything is that. When there is realizations of Mahamudra, everything is that. There's no external thing coming into your realization. It is just the nature of mind, which was there, and you have seen it now. And that is what known as awakening. You were sleeping before. That nature of mind was there. No different. Same quality of nature of your mind was there before, but you're not able to see it. Now you have seen it, and you are awakening. So there's not any kind of external phenomena came into you when you realize Mahamudra. No, it did not. You just flipped. Before you didn't see it, now you saw it. That's it. As it is. That is it. So therefore he says, where there's realization, everything is that. Other than this, there's nothing to be understood by anyone. Even the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They meditated, they seen the true nature of mind. That's it, exactly. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it, that's it. So we should also focus on the same kind of technique of meditation here. And Adisha also says, it is profound, the true nature of your mind is very profound, because it cannot be digested by laymen or beginners. That's why it's profound. When you say the nature of your mind is emptiness, it's profound. Even for us, when you hear the Prajnaparamita Sutra, when you are reciting the Prajnaparamita Sutra, it's so profound. It is beyond our conceptual, it's beyond our perception. We cannot perceive this realization, so that's profound. It is profound and free from elaborations, good, bad, all this. It is luminous. The nature of mind, even though it is said emptiness, but it is not nothingness. Remember? Last time I also mentioned it. It is emptiness, but it is not nothingness. It has the quality of luminosity. It can see perfectly all the phenomena. Like Buddha, after enlightenment, Buddha did not become kind of stupid, right? After enlightenment, after realizing the emptiness nature of all phenomena, he has this quality, he has this wisdom, he has this luminosity where he can benefit of so many sentient beings, where he can see uh, different times of different people, how to benefit different sentient beings, how to teach. So there's a luminosity at the same time. It's not like darkness, it is awareness. That's why sometimes it is mentioned as the unity of emptiness and awareness, the unity of emptiness and luminosity, the unity of wisdom and compassion. When you say I realize emptiness, that does not mean that you have only realized the non-existence aspect only. You have also realized the luminosity, the clarity, the awareness, the wisdom at the same time. So therefore, our Rinpoche also says, emptiness is not cough, it's not dead body, you know. It is with full of energy, with full of luminosity, with full of insights. That is why it is luminous, uncreated. No one created this nature of mind. It was there from the beginningless time as a Buddha nature in all sentient beings. That is taught in the first chapter. So uncreated, unborn is already there. It's not newly born. It was already there. Since it's unceasing, it will always remain as it is. As it is, it will always remain as it is. The nature of our mind, as it is, as it used to be, as it is now, and as it will remain as it is for limitless, never-ending time. So pure from the very beginning. It was pure from the very beginning. Just as it is, that you are now realizing it after the Mahayana Mahamudra equipoise. The all-pervading Dharma sphere, just like what we are taught at the very beginning, pervading in all sentient beings. The true nature of our mind is pervading in all sentient beings. That is why it's known as all-pervading Dharma sphere, which is of the nature of nirvana. You can call it nirvana. You can name it. These are all labeling, different kind of labeling it to that quality, to that nature. You can call it enlightenment, nirvana, complete and perfect awakening state of mind, liberation, and so forth. Without center or edge. It doesn't have center or edge. It is beyond all the elaborations, beyond conceptions, and so forth. Cannot be conceptualized by the subtle eye of intelligence. It should be actualized through wisdom, obviously. Therefore, it should be viewed without laxity, excitement, or dimness. It should be realized as it is, the nature of our mind. And that can happen through meditation. And all the prevailing Dharma space free from elaborations. Set the mind there, free from elaborations. Since the nature of our mind itself is free from elaborations, then why should you label it? You should also let the mind there free from elaborations. Since the nature of mind itself is free from elaborations, so you should also be free from labeling them, explaining them, expressing them in different terminology. You should be free from this too as well. Setting the mind this way is the unmistaken method of practicing wisdom awareness. according to Mahayana Mahamudra practice. So this is how one should practice the Mahayana Mahamudra equipoise. Furthermore, the 700 standard perfections of wisdom says, whenever there is no accepting, grasping, or rejecting of phenomena, there is meditating in the perfections of wisdom awareness. So you wonder if your meditation is actually perfections of wisdom awareness or not. How you can check is whether your meditation is of no accepting or grasping or rejections of phenomena or not. You are accepting, or if you're rejecting, then your meditation is not good enough to be called wisdom awareness. Likewise, wherever there is no abiding whatsoever, there is meditating in the perfections of wisdom awareness, because it is neither center nor edge. So there's no kind of any kind of remaining part as either. It is free from all the sides and centers and directions and so forth. Whenever there is no conceptualizing on objectifying, there is meditating in the perfections of wisdom awareness. So this is how the perfections of wisdom awareness is. The 8,000 standard perfections of wisdom says, meditating on these perfections of wisdom awareness is not meditating on any phenomena whatsoever. So, like I said earlier, meditating on the true nature of your mind is actually not doing anything, not meditating at all whatsoever. There's no kind of any new object that is focused. There's no kind of new visualizations is taking place. It's just naturally remaining at the true nature of your mind, the true nature, unfabricated nature of your mind. So there's no development stage, there's no purification stages, there's no development and dissolution stage of practice as well. Here, we just remain at the true nature of our mind. Okay, so it's free from all the conceptualizings and elaborations. And from the same sutra, meditating on the perfections of wisdom awareness is like meditating on space. Just like meditating on space. Obviously, in our mundane label, we say, I saw space, for example, or there's a space. But actually, we say this every time. But have you really seen the space? That's something different, right? Have you really seen the space? So likewise, we also say, oh, emptiness. Seeing emptiness is just like seeing space. We call it, but we can't really show where the space is. It's beyond pointing out. It's beyond expression. It's beyond instructions. So just like seeing space. If we wonder what meditating on space is, the same text says, space is without conceptual thoughts. The perfections of wisdom awareness also without conceptual thoughts. The condensed perfections of wisdom sutra also says, not conceptualizing either arising or non-arising is the supreme practice of the perfections of wisdom awareness. So our meditation, according to Mahamudra, equipoise meditation of Mahamudra, should be free from all the conceptualizings, either arising or non-arising, existing or non-existent, and so forth. Vijeshwara also says, do not think about what can be thought about, and do not think about what cannot be thought about either. So again, we should be free from all the conceptual thoughts. When one thinks about neither the thinkable nor the unthinkable, emptiness will be seen. So this is what Mahamudra equipoise is. So there are many, many different instructions here, how one can see the true nature of our mind, what is the way how one can practice it through meditation. If one wonders how emptiness can be seen, okay, this is very good. It is said in the accomplishments of Dharmadhatu Sutra says, when emptiness is seen, there is no seeing. Also, sometimes it says the best, not seeing is the best seeing. From our perspective, normal perspective, it looks very funny. It sounds very funny, right? But in fact, ultimately, that's the great truth. Actually, not seeing is the great seeing, because not seeing means it's not that you are not able to see it, or you do not know the method to how to see it, but not seeing is because the nature of it is non-existence. So therefore, we cannot see. Nature of things are emptiness, so we cannot see. So when you see, when you really see there's no seeing, then that's the best seeing. It's the truth seeing, actually, because you have seen the right thing. You have seen the not seeing thing. If you have not seen anything with your full 100% concentrations on Mahamudra equipoise, and then as a result you have seen nothing as existence or as non-existence, then that's the best thing. That's the wisdom awareness. Sounds very funny for us, obviously, but that's the reality checking. That's the ultimate nature of things. Non-existence nature, emptiness nature of things. So therefore, emptiness has no color, no shape, no free from all the conceptual thoughts or free from all the elaborations and so forth. So again here, extelled one or the Buddha, not seeing all phenomena is seeing perfectly. Seeing nothing whatsoever is seeing suchness. So these are very advanced instructions of Mahamudra. The small truth of middle way says, not seeing is seeing, as has been said in the very profound sutra. The condensed perfections of Wisdom Sutra says, some sentient beings said that they have seen space. Yet how is space to be seen? Examine the meaning of this. Likewise, the Tathagatas has shown this way to see all phenomena, just like seeing space. When you say seeing space, you have to examine how you saw space. Likewise, Tathagata has also shown the same way of seeing the nature of phenomena. Seeing it, but there's nothing to be seen. And when you have not seen anything, that's the best seeing. That's perfected. That's the perfection of wisdom awareness. Because ultimate nature of phenomena is emptiness. So you cannot see, you cannot show, it cannot be seen. And when you see it when you have seen nothing, that's the best seeing. Seeing nothing whatsoever, this is the seeing suchness. Seeing is the seeing of the suchness. Okay, so we'll keep here for today. And next we'll talk about post-meditative state. How to take your experience, equipoise experience into your post-meditation state. Okay, having said that, before we conclude, we should dedicate the night for the well-being of all sentient beings. Sonam de tamje zegba ye tomne nye be danam panje ne kega na je balao chopa ye sibe sole togu nyo to sho changjo semjo rempo che mage panam ke gyurji ke ba nyamba me ba yang gong ne gong do pe wa sho